Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the skies above Stalingrad. I'm playing a lot of IL-2 Battle of Stalingrad lately, and I know for a fact that several of you, if not a chunk of people, a huge chunk of people, have been asking me, when am I going to play this title again? And when am I going to put some footage up on the channel? Well, we're going to start from this moment on once again. Now, I did have a hiatus with this game, several reasons. I don't want to go into all of them, but one of them also was that I was just waiting to just upgrade once again my equipment, and I wasn't able to upgrade it for some time. When I was at university, I told myself, well, studies go first, and once holiday starts and I'm done with university, that's when I can start spending some money on my hobby, basically. So yeah, I've got all the equipment that I want at this point. Pedals and track IR, I've already mentioned it in the last video, and I'm going to be talking more specifically about both of them in an upcoming video, as I've already mentioned before. Today I want to talk about IL-2 Battle of Stalingrad, kind of introduce it to some of the guys that maybe haven't seen this title just yet, and just give you a quick run-up of what's going on here. This is a very nice missions I had in the campaign. This is of course single player, and I've been using this campaign to get used to the pedals and the track IR, and as well as that, I've had a lot of practice with the guys from JG26. They've been taking me under their wings and teaching me a lot of stuff, especially with track IR. They basically traced out all the problems I had with it at the initial phase. My curves and all that stuff, my sensitivity was fine. There were a couple of other issues that I will be addressing in the specific track IR video. Now, in this little clip that I have for you here, we can see it's a night fight. We are going to be attacking Russian bombers, and they are escorted, of course, by a couple of fighters. We do well in the beginning. The Russian gunners don't really know where we are. This kind of night approach on them, well, it does prevent the gunners to acquire us quickly, especially if we come in with a lot of speed and we're able to get a couple of hits on our first Peshka there. Now later on, this video is going to change drastically, and I'm going to address the specific problems we have at that point when it happens. Let me just address quickly the campaign in IL-2 Battle of Stalingrad. Now, overall, these simulators, they're multiplayer games, and they should be taken as multiplayer games, in my opinion, and that's really what carries them. Now, IL-2 Battle of Stalingrad went a little bit different and kind of forced players initially to play the campaign to unlock certain modifications on their aircraft, and as you can imagine, for a pure breed simulator, this didn't go down well with the simulator crowd, at least with many of them, and me included. In my release video of this title, I said, you know, these unlocks should have been given from the start. Now, back then and still now, I presume that it was something the developers had not 100% thought out in the beginning, and they had tried to give some kind of incentive for early access people, and basically tell their audience, you know, buy it now and you're going to have a couple of these unlocks from the start and so on, and just reward early support. However, it wasn't really well thought through, because a lot of players bought this game on release only to notice that some of the most needed modifications that their aircraft needs. For example, in this G2, I can remove the headrest, and if I don't remove the headrest, a huge chunk of my backward visibility is just gone. You know, I had to play the campaign to unlock this. However, there have been some changes recently, and if you don't know them, I'm just going to lay them out right now. If you are an owner of the premium version of this game, or have the standard version plus both additional aircraft, that's the LA-5 and Focke-Wulf 190, you can unlock all modifications, no questions asked, in your profile on the IL-2 Battle of Stalingrad website. So if you bought that pack and then you left in disgust because you can't have all the unlocks, then just go to your online profile, activate those unlocks, and you'll have them. That, of course, doesn't fix the people that have the standard version and have to get these unlocks. Now, luckily, and this is not really how it should be either. Once again, these unlocks should be given from the start. But luckily, the most important unlocks always get unlocked first. So the headrest here on the G2 is, I believe, the first unlock, and you can get it basically after one mission in the campaign. That is, of course, not optimal, but it's not as bad as it could be, of course. With War Thunder, for example, that is a game you can completely understand the upgrade mechanics. There we go, that's the correct word. But with the full-on realistic simulator, well, realistic in apostrophes, we're not sitting in an actual cockpit, but you guys know what I mean. Those kind of unlocks should be given from the start. It doesn't help either that the campaign is perhaps not the most engaging of campaigns. It's a very loose campaign. You kind of tell your own story. It's a little bit role-play-esque in that sense. I even thought about maybe doing a little bit of a playthrough campaign in this on this channel, just 6 quick missions, showing off everything there is to do in the campaign to give you guys an idea of it. But it's not that engaging. We simulator battle pilots, we want to do stuff online, and it's just way better to fly with 3 or 4 friends, and 2 of you guys are in fighters, 2 of you guys are in bombers, and you just do an escort mission. The bombers destroy some factory in the online multiplayer server, than having it, just your singular experience in this campaign. Regardless, for somebody who wants to get used to the flight models in this game, and who maybe wants to get used to new equipment like I have, this campaign actually does allow you to do so. But don't stick with it too long. That would be my recommendation. Go online. Is of course a lot tougher. You will die many times. I have died many times as well. Absolutely. But that is where we really, really learn the stuff, because as you will see from now on, the AI gets very passive. We didn't have any problems with the escort fighters, as you will see. And in fact, the searchlights that you see now, quite beautiful actually, they are in fact from an enemy airport. And as you can see, one of the searchlights actually caught me, 2 of them in fact, and that lit me up for the AI gunner. But those little bursts that you perhaps just saw a couple of seconds ago with tracers coming at us, that was the only time the enemy ever fired at us, except for ground fire. They're gonna shoot at us a couple of times as well. I think we do get hit at some point and lose a little bit of fuel, and that was the way back to the airport was a little bit critical. I have to admit, I didn't think I would have enough fuel. But yeah, from now on the AI gets very passive, and they're kind of in just this spiraling dive, or descent, that's the correct word, descent towards the airfield, and they want to land, and they kind of line themselves up perfectly for us. With the landing lights on as well, it's going to be extremely easy to shoot them down. And for somebody, like I said earlier, for somebody that is forced to go into the campaign to unlock 1 or 2 things, that is maybe saving grace, because you can get a quick XP just by nailing these guys that are trying to land. But once again, for a simulator title, I do hope that in future releases this mistake won't be done again. But we'll see how it is. They have announced the Battle of Moscow. I'm going to put in a little bit more information in the description. A couple of new planes will be added, the Bf-109E7 for example, the F2, the MiG-3. I think there will also be the MC-202, a Land-Lease P-40. There will be a Bf-110 and a whole bunch of new aircraft. So if you're interested, check that out as well. Maybe you will find those new planes interesting as well, and you might give that title a thought as well. I certainly have my eyes on it, but I do want to see what they do with this title first. I must say, during my little hiatus of this title, they have fixed a lot of stuff. My frame rate is much better now. There is no more micro-stuttering at times. And overall, this game is way more polished than it was at release. It wasn't bad at release, but it wasn't also spectacular. And I have said that in my release video as well. It could have been a little bit more polished, but overall it was working. Of course, this title has had some controversy regarding a few things, where the simulator crowd sort of was up in arms a little bit, and sometimes with good reason, sometimes little bit pedantic, let's say. That's just my opinion. But overall, the title certainly is enjoyable for me, and I'm having great fun with it. Now, flying low here, trying to get a lead on this yak. Actually, I thought he was going to continue on a straight there, but he did not. He broke left, and I was a little bit too fast to adjust my aim. So we'll just have to go up and look for a new target. These night fights are quite enjoyable. You don't see them that much on the multiplayer front, which I guess is obvious, the reason why. But when you do see them in the campaign, which happens from time to time, they are always something that I enjoy greatly. Acquiring targets during night is actually not that difficult as one might think. Of course, it's not as easy as during good lighting conditions, but it's manageable nonetheless. Now let's see what we can do with this P2. But, I think actually the gunner might have hit us there. Yep, that must have been the gunner. And that is also exactly where the fuel tank is. So that's actually, in fact, the enemy gunner who hit our fuel tank and not the ground fire. So, yep, that's nice, seeing the recording and seeing the actual perpetrator of my aircraft's damage. We're just going to finish these guys off. In the end of this mission, I'm going to quickly show you guys a few more additional information about the unlocks and how this campaign XP is generated. But for now, we'll just have to finish off these Russian aircraft. They too take a beating. Sometimes I feel like the Minengeschoss, what's the English word? The mine belt? mine shot? Well, let's call it mine shot. Minengeschoss in German. It doesn't do as much damage as I would think it would do. We are currently not able to make our own ammo belts, which is, for example, a title like Kiilstofte features, where you can customize your ammo belt to the extreme. And so far, the developers have not announced whether it's going to be available in the future. At least from my information, it seems that they are holding off from doing this at this point because of different priorities. Now, the last Peshka we just attacked there, he's going to go down now. As you can see, he's getting low to the ground and he's going to be crashing over there. Probably salvageable for the engineers and the ground crew. But it counts as a victory nonetheless. And that rounds up our little game here. Now, a lot of the aircrafts that I was firing at actually you didn't see them crashing or you didn't see them getting destroyed. But usually when you put a couple of shells into an aircraft, and this is a little bit of a tip for people that might be forced to play the campaign to unlock one or two things. When you shoot a couple of aircrafts with just a little bit, they smoke and they have some damage. On their landing approach, they usually crash, and at that point it is given as a victory. So if you want quick XP and you have a lot of planes landing, just put a couple of shots into each of them, and the chances are high that you will be awarded a kill for each and every one of them. It takes a little bit away from the challenge, but it does allow you to quickly get those unlocks that you want. And with that, our mission here is over. As you can see, we are leaving the enemy airfield. They have noticed that, well, the Germans are gone and the searchlights are off. And with that, we will be going to the unlock screen and just a little bit of additional information for you guys. Alright, so here we have the unlock screen for the Bf-109G2, and I have flown, I think, 2 missions in this aircraft, and as you can see, I have unlocked 2 skins and 1 unlock. However, because I have activated my unlocks on the forum, actually on the website profile, I already have those given to me, and I can only unlock skins now. However, you are able to use custom skins in this game as well now, so don't really, you don't really need to bother with these unlocks either. And if you do have a skin that you like from the list of skins that you can see here, then I'm sure you will find a custom made one somewhere, and you can just get around this unlock system as well. This is basically how this is done. As you can see, to get, for example, the last unlock there, which is a gun pots to MG151, 20mm cannons, you will have to play the campaign for some time. You will probably have to play about 7 missions, maybe, depending on how well you do. And that is, of course, something that many people didn't really like at release. It's done a little bit better by now, but as I said before, it is not ideal. But anyway, this is it for Battle of Stalingrad for now. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and I will be bringing you more of this title very presently on this channel. So as always, guys, have a great day, good hunting, and see you in the sky.